Hello, Cinema Peeps.
Hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. We are stepping up the audio quality a little bit on the podcast because I bought a new microphone.
Yeah, just a little bit. We're not going to get crazy, people. Okay?
This is what it looks like here.
Ooh, so fancy.
Yeah, it's got a cool... You can't really see it right now. I don't know if I can turn it on.
Kendra disconnects her audio.
It's got a cool LED light at the bottom that changes different colors.
Damn.
So if you want to add like some cool like mood lighting, it's pretty neat actually. Again, if the audio sounds like crap, it's probably because I didn't know how to do this properly. We need to, figure that out.
Nah.
But the cool thing is when I opened the kit that it came with its own little do not disturb sign.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm gonna have that on my door now.
Arguably, I think mine's better, but that's fine.
I agree. There was more love put into that one.
For those of you who don't understand, Kendra made me it for Christmas.
Yes. You can see it on our Instagram.
See. Yes, you can. So I was just complaining how disgusting it was outside and rainy, and now it's sunny.
Is it seriously?
Yeah. Or maybe I'm wrong, but like the little window
it's
I have,
deceiving.
I was like, that looks a lot brighter than it did before.
Well, I mean, it is Alberta weather. It's very deceiving.
This is true. Although, just because we were talking about video games before we started, the ad that always cracks me up on YouTube is the one for the Nintendo Switch, and the girl opens up her curtains and it's raining, and she's like, yes, I can play video games. And I'm like, girl, I don't care what the weather is. I'm playing all the time if I want to. I don't give two shits.
See, I find it so funny with ads and stuff like that, because clearly, like, with the way ads work nowadays, it's targeted for you and what you watch and research and stuff like that. So, obviously, you research and watch a lot of video game type stuff, whereas I do a lot of video editing, because every single YouTube ad I get is, let me show you how to create amazing footage using stock footage all the time, and it drives me nuts.
I get the ones where it's like, can't pay for that expensive equipment and audio and editing software. Welcome to Doodles or whatever, where they doodle shit for you, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then I get motherfucking Peloton ads up the wazoo. If the government or the technology is listening to me, stop giving me Peloton ads. I will not buy a Peloton. I don't know how to put this. I don't have the money for that bullshit, and even if I did, I'm not fucking spending on a Peloton. Fuck off.
I'm curious to know, is there, I don't know if you've seen it on TV or if it's online as well too, but there's one Peloton ad where they show, like, the coach and stuff like that, and the coach says, for me, it's, Claire in Edmonton, you're doing such a great job. They'll, like, shout out the person in the location, so I'm curious to know if you have that in your commercial, and does it say somebody in Calgary?
I haven't heard anyone in Calgary. I think I heard someone in Toronto. But again, I've also blocked out a lot of the Peloton ads, and I'm just like, where's the skip button, YouTube? Let's fucking go. I don't give any shit.
I find it offensive.
What's wrong with this ad? I don't want to see it no more.
Exactly.
No more.
Oh,
no bullshit.
Yeah.
Ugh, lordy lord. But anyways, what is my thought? I don't even know how my thought process is working today, so...
We were talking about video games, and then we got into ads.
We did, yes. Was my thought. I didn't really watch anything new this week.
I didn't either.
I was mostly just continuing the marathon.
The Marvel marathon?
Yeah, so we watched Captain America First Avenger, which surprisingly, I think is really good. I remember, like, back in college giving it a lot of shit.
I know.
I also remember falling asleep.
Yes, this is true. We both definitely fell asleep watching it.
Yeah. And what was the other thing? And I'll still stand by my point I made in college about the CG scenes. Like, some of them were still very janky in my mind. And even, like, watching it again, like, I think because it takes place in the 1940s, maybe a little wrong on that, but because it happens during World War II, basically.
Yeah.
So it's a timepiece, but I feel like some of the CG, they try to make it look like as if it was a comic book, and I just don't think it read very well. in my opinion.
Yeah.
That was at least my justification for it, because I was like, it looks so weird, but I was like, oh, maybe it's kind of comic booky. Okay.
Yeah.
So that stuff I still like as a man, but overall, actually, I think it actually still holds up very well.
Yeah.
Which is surprising.
It's been a while since I've seen it. I'll have to go back and rewatch it, but I definitely
recommend it.
I definitely remember watching it in school, and yeah.
I remember because we watched it on maybe it was your laptop or something, because it was a very small screen, and that
it was the tiny little TV that my dad got me.
Yeah. And I remember because it was complete with the CG. I was like, it doesn't look good. And I remember one of our friends was like, well, it's better if it's on a bigger screen. And then I made the argument. I was like, it shouldn't matter how big your screen is. It should be able to play and look good regardless.
True. Yes, but yeah, no, we had that very tiny TV for a good few months before. I can't remember if it was like, I don't want to name drop anybody, but like, I can't remember if it was one of my roommates' friends who, like, if it was Eric's friends, or if it was him who was like, I got to give you guys a bigger TV because I can't deal with this anymore. Because all of a sudden, when we switched from the Earl's Court to Melbourne, we had a big TV, and then they booted my TV, and I mean, I wasn't complaining. But I was like, where the fuck did this big TV come from? And Kim's like, yeah, we needed a bigger TV. Eric said we needed a bigger TV. Plus we want a video game on it too. So I'm like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I think one of my mom's friends, when she came to visit me one time, gave me a TV.
Yeah.
And that was that TV that was my little corner with my desk. And then
the big square one?
Yeah, and the big square TV. It was good times. It was good times.
Good times indeed. Yep. I remember watching you play all the Batman games on that TV.
All the Batman games.
And then we watched some Supernatural too.
Oh, we did. That was such a good summer.
Oh, that was such a good summer, yeah.
It was such a good summer. What was my thought? Because I think I'd watched season 1 by myself, because I went back home, and then we went to the cabin, and we watched the first season there, which was like a good place to watch it. Oddly, it was a good and bad place, because it was like it was a nice like scene to watch it at the cabin, but then I was also freaking out when it got a little darker. I was like, oh my god, there's shit. I was like, there's shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
But, no, it was good. That was good times. Good fucking times. What's my other thought? Oh yeah, and then we watched the Avengers Assemble movie, which we were hyping up to my parents. We're like, it's the big one, guys, all the superheroes are together. Didn't give two shits. My mom, because I keep asking her like to rate all the Marvel movies, and now, and then of course the team up movie I think she has as like second to dead last.
Oh really?
She's like, it's just too violent, and I was like thinking, oh
it's
boy,
it's too violent.
I know. I was like, oh boy, it's just gonna
strap in.
Yeah, basically, I was like, this isn't gonna go well at
all.
Gosh.
Oh boy,
which was really funny. And then what was the other thing? We watched Thor: The Dark World. Yes, last night, and that was the thing during Thor: The Dark World. Mom's like, too much destruction. Every time these elves come, too much destruction. I was just sitting there. I was like, oh, this is so weird.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the weirdest commentary, but I was like, okay, sure, why not?
I mean, she does have a point in some ways, though, because there is a lot of, like, you know, destruction.
Well, especially the Avengers one, right? There's where the iron snake thing like falls on top of 2 buildings and takes out a couple floors.
Yeah.
And so I'd sit there and be like, thank God nobody was in those buildings.
Right.
And you're like, ooh, you know.
Don't they make a joke of that later on too, being like, who's gonna clean this up? Like
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Farther along, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, tonight we also got a new sectional, so I think that's going to get set up tonight, and then we're going to watch Captain America, The Winter Soldier. I'm pretty excited. And we started, I don't know why we didn't do this before, but we started now watching, once we're done watching whatever Marvel movie we're watching that night, we start watching the trailer for the next one. And I think that helps my parents get a little hyped up then.
Nice.
Otherwise, we're like, we're watching this one, and they're like, okay, we have no context. So at least if we're showing them the trailer, they're like, okay, yeah, we still know what's going on, but okay, now we're
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Nice way to ease ourselves into each phase, you know.
Nice.
And then what else is this week? Oh yeah, Guardians, which my parents have seen, so that's gonna be good.
Classic.
And then Age of Ultron, and then Ant-Man finishes off phase 2.
Nice.
That'll be good. And then we start phase 3, baby.
Woohoo!
And my parents didn't think we were gonna make it that far.
I mean, you guys are just flying through these things. I mean, we only see each other once a week, so to me it seems like you're constantly flying through them. But it's been a few days,
right? The only days we don't watch one is Wednesday nights. It's about. Otherwise, we watch one at least a week. But I still think it'll probably take us to close to the end of May to finish all the movies.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we might tack on the 2 Spider-Man ones, and then, depending how they feel, maybe we'll watch WandaVision and Cap and Winter Soldier, and then maybe by then Loki will be out.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
Black Widow?
Yes. I saw that announcement trailer. So it seems concrete that it's coming out this summer. But we shall see.
Is the second Spider-Man sequel on a streaming service?
Not one that I own.
So it's not on Disney Plus or anything?
Not yet. I know there was an article saying that Sony had agreed to it, but I don't know when that takes effect. Because I checked on Netflix, right? I know the first one's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Homecoming. So I was like, okay. And again, Spider-Man Far From Home is one of the last ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm hoping at that point maybe it'll be on Disney Plus. You know? Or we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I'm not super worried. What was the other? I guess the other new thing I watched was Legends premiered this Sunday.
Yeah.
So I was very excited.
That's awesome.
So tell me, Kendra, you're completely caught up.
Nowhere near. It's gonna be a slow build, but I'll get there.
The next season will be out by the time you're done.
I don't know. I like doing it that way though, because then all the hype's died down, and I can actually like enjoy it without feeling like the pressure of you have to see this episode.
I would agree, except I need someone to talk to about this.
Yes.
And nobody. I think maybe one person cares in my life, but like nobody else gives a shit. I need someone to give a shit.
Okay, I will give a shit. I will work my way up to it, I promise.
Thank you. But yeah, that's all I've been watching. I haven't watched anything new this week.
Yeah, I haven't really watched much new this week. Like really we were saying earlier before we started recording, I've just been playing Stardew Valley.
So good.
You guys got me hooked on that one. It is so cute.
It's cute. It's addicting. It is.
Yeah.
It's funny because when you try to explain it to people, they're like, what do you mean? It's just a farming simulation. You're like, it's so much more. Please don't.
Right? I compare it to like, for my mom at least, she can relate because back when we had, we still have it, but back when we had the Nintendo 64, like before all the other game consoles come out, we would always go to the video store and rent one of the cartridges. The only one we actually own is Donkey Kong 64. I've been like working my way up to collecting a bunch of them because I really want like Mario Party and like Super Mario 64, like all those ones that we used to play.
Classics.
But the one that we played, my mom played religiously was Yoshi Story. Oh yeah, we own that one too.
Oh really?
Yeah, so she loved it. Like it was crazy. My mom doesn't seem like a video game type person, but
Yoshi Story.
When she was a stay-at-home mom, there was times when Kelsey and I would go to school and then my dad would they'd always do it where my dad would pick us up after school. She'd take us to school and he'd pick us up afterwards. So he'd pick us up after school and we'd come home and she'd be on the floor in her pajamas, hadn't moved all day, still playing Yoshi.
Fuck yeah!
It was hard for her to stop on that one. She really loved it. So like for I think it was either for Christmas or one of her birthdays in the last few years, we found it and we bought it for her. So she's like, ooh, she has to like pace herself.
Right? That sounds like me. I gotta chop the line somewhere because it's just I want to keep going
and because it's so adorable, it makes it even harder to stop playing.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. The story I was going to tell about Stardew Valley. So similar, well, not quite similar to your mom, but N64 had this game called Harvest Moon.
Yes.
And it was a super popular series. I think it first came out for the Game Boy, I think, and the Super Nintendo.
sense. I remember seeing it for, something like that.
But I played it first on N64.
Nice.
And again, it's the same idea. You have a farm. You do farm stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a great time.
Mingle with the locals.
Right? Although back then, you could only be a boy farmer and you could only marry the girls.
What?
I know.
They've come such a long way.
Right? And I followed all the games pretty much up until, I think, Harvest Moon Magical Melody, which is, if you want to talk about a game that's fucking cute, that game is, like, overloaded cute. It's ridiculous. Really? Oh, yeah. And I think it was sometime after that, maybe. I could be wrong. And again, I probably should have looked this up to be absolutely sure. But from what I understand, is the distributor of the games and the actual company got into an argument. I'm not sure over what exactly. Mm-hmm. So eventually they kind of branched off so that the bigger company that I think was developing the games and releasing the games still release games under the Harvest Moon name.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not actually made by the original creators. So a lot of people trash them because they are garbage. And I mean, I've seen a couple of like gameplay footage of it and I'm like, ugh, yikesies. Like, it just doesn't have the heart in it anymore. Yeah. And, like, one of them was, like, clearly trying to jump on the bandwagon of, like, Minecraft. And it's like, nobody plays these for If you want to play Minecraft, you're going to play Minecraft.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But then the people, I think, who actually made the Harvest Moon games are now releasing their own games, but that's called Story of Seasons. And so those are the ones that are the true Harvest Moon, if it makes sense.
Okay.
But I know for me, especially at least with Stardrew Valley, I think, to me, that's the true spiritual successor. And not only is it good, but I think it improved on so many things that the other games are just still not have caught up on.
Yeah.
Like, I love the mining. I like the combat and fighting. Mining is so much fun. Mm-hmm. Fishing's great. And then, like we said about woohooing villagers, you can now be boy or girl farmer, whoever you want to be, and you can marry anybody. Well, okay, not anybody, but you have way more options to marry.
Yeah, and the characters themselves seem pretty diverse for the most part. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, there was at one point, the one thing I discovered, I think it was last night, actually, where you could, like, explore people's houses. I didn't realize that, like, the magnifying glass icon would pop up. So there was, like, this little note on somebody's dresser, and it was talking about how, like, their husband was gone, and, like, he was a changed man, and he didn't want her to, like, you know, be shocked when he came back, but he's doing it for her and the kids, and I'm like, damn, where did this come from?
Right, and even the characters, like, you can't marry, like, when you build relationships with them, you'll get special cutscenes and learn more about them.
Yeah.
And which is way more in depth than any Harvest Moon game. Like, because normally, like, you would get, like, the kind of special scenes but only with the married people, the people you can, like, woo and marry.
Yeah.
Versus, like, this one, like, you can have so many different relationships and learn more about them, which is insane.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. And I think the last thing I did was they had the Moonlight Jellies Festival.
Oh, that is so... Ooh, it's adorable.
It was perfect, because it was just before bed. I was like, I'll just play a little bit before bed. And so there's this nice little, like, calming music and the little, like, jellyfish in the ocean. I'm like, this is perfect. Now I can go to bed tonight and just have, like, nice, happy, peaceful dreams.
I think I did have a dream about Stardew this morning.
Oh, yeah. Definitely did.
Gotta get my farming, gotta get my crops done.
Yeah, I'm like, gotta do that. Yeah.
I think a big recommend from us all around.
Heck yeah. Cinema Gals, 10 out of 10 recommendation.
20 out of 10, thank you.
20 out of 10, yes.
20 out of 10.
My apologies.
Damn straight. But yeah, we'll have to start a farm together.
Yes, that would be so
and then
much
that's
fun.
The other cool thing. We get to have a farm together if you want.
Yeah, you can play with your friends.
Right?
Oh, so this just reminded me. I'm just looking directly above my computer and I have my flash pillow there. But there was some news announced that the actress who plays Nora is coming back to the show for their 105th episode.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I sent you that post on Instagram where they spotted all three of those actors.
Yeah.
And I was like, baby!
Yeah.
Which I know, like, on one hand, I feel a little bad because it feels like a little stalkery. They'd be like, I saw this person. This must be what it means. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I'm really excited because I'm like, oh, they're there, which means yay.
Right? There's some real super fans because, like, even with Supernatural, there was, like, there'd always be fans everywhere and they'd be kind of reporting on little things that they'd see and stuff like that. And so, yeah, there's always those super fans that, like, are around and they know and they're like, oh, guess what?
I feel as long as you're not harming the other person, I feel like it's okay.
Well, Supernatural would let the fans, like, stand off to the side and watch them film as long as they were quiet.
Yeah, so that's what we did.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we did. Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah, we were across the street. It was cool.
I remember because they waved to us.
Yeah.
And then
Misha Collins came right up to me and then, like, walked past. And then just walked down the street and we're like, where did he go?
Now we're married.
Yeah, now we're married.
By law, we're married now. That's how that works.
There was another video too that I think it must have been the Flash group that I follow on Facebook. Somebody posted that Jordan Fisher, he like got his hair shaved in like the design.
Who's that guy?
I think he's popular.
I ain't popular. Fuck Christ.
No, he got like designs shaved into the back of his head that like look very like Flash-esque. So he was like. He's just, like, on the video, and he's like, hey, everybody, so, yeah, I'm just really excited. Oh, hello? And he's, like, pretending there's somebody behind him so he can, like, show the thing on. And he's like, what? Oh, yeah, what? Oh, what? It was so funny.
Oh, my God. That sounds painful. I'm just kidding. That's really funny. No, I'm stoked. Yeah, I didn't realize they were hitting their 150th episode, so.
105th, yeah.
I thought it was 50.
It's at 105, I'm pretty sure.
What? That's no... Google. I'm too lazy. Google.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. Sorry, 150th. I'm dyslexic.
To be fair, though, girl, like, same. I remember someone was, like, in school. They were like, Kayla, I think you're a little dyslexic. And I was like, how dare you? And then when I was working in the food industry, I had to call out order numbers and I would flip them all the time.
Really? Oh no.
And then I have all these people staring at me and I'm of course staring at them being like, who's this person?
Yeah.
Like, this is your number. And then I realized I was like, oh my God, I am dyslexic. Oh. Like, they're like, a couple people would pick up, I'm like, oh, do you mean this? And I'm like, fuck, yeah, I'm so sorry. They're like, no worries. I was like, oh, damn it.
It's easy to mess it up. Like, and I mean, to be fair, when I saw the article, it was like a quick glance because I was just so excited that I saw her name that I didn't really look at the number. So like 105 popped
numbers, who gives a shit?
Same numbers, just not the right pattern.
Right?
I'm curious to know if they're going to go longer than Arrow or if they're actually going to call it quits at 8. I feel like they could probably go one more than Arrow. I don't know if they'd
I mean,
be smart to push it.
I would. Just for shits, you know, be like, haha, one more than you, bitch. You know, just be a little petty, because that's fine.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Because I know, like, the last I read, they were saying that it was up to Grant.
Right.
Whether or not they wanted to continue. So, and now that his wife is pregnant, he's expecting his first kid, so who knows, they might maybe pull the plug after a while, who knows.
He wants to have a life? What is this?
Well, he said he also wanted to do some Broadway, too.
Yeah,
so,
because he's an amazing singer. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Heck yeah. Well, because I'm curious, you probably know more than me.
Probably not.
Is the DC Legends actually based off of a comic book, or was that just something that they created because of everything else?
I think so.
Okay.
Not a very popular one, because that was the thing I was going to check when I was at Chapters, was to see if they were part of the New 52 or not. But I remember looking up one time and seeing like old, like a very old comic. So I don't know if it's just one of those things that like they were a team up for like a hot minute and then like never again kind of thing, or it just wasn't as popular, so it didn't take off.
Because with just the amount of stuff that I've vaguely seen and know about the episodes and stuff like that, like they play around with a lot of different things that you wouldn't think would be something in a comic book. It seems more like kind of like a birthed idea for a TV show.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Okay, so just looking at the first the people ask, are Legends of Tomorrow in the comics? DC Comics has assembled its own version of Legends of Tomorrow, and the CW has never been too concerned with the comic book accuracy. And in 2016, they introduced a superhero team called Legends of Tomorrow. And now in the DC's Generation Shattered, the comic book publisher has assembled their own version. Okay, so there is a version of it, but as usual,
loosely based.
They're like, fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, loosely based.
Oh yeah, because it was the premiere this Sunday, Katie Lotz was live on Instagram with ET News.
Yeah, I saw something she tweeted about.
Don't quote me on that one. I think it was ET News.
Yeah.
And they always joke that DC Legends is the redheaded stepchild of the CW verse because it's just so weird and out there.
Yeah.
And it's totally true, but it's still just, it's good.
What was she, because what were they talking about? 6 episodes or 6 or something? I don't know. There was a tweet. She was like talking about like they were like, oh, we didn't think it was gonna happen, but it did. And there's like 6,
maybe just 6 seasons.
Maybe just 6 seasons. I don't know. They were making it sound like there was some sort of special thing that they were doing this time, or I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, everything's special. Everything.
I was trying not to read into it too much because I didn't want to get spoiled for anything. Yeah, so I kind of briefly saw
spoilers.
it.
So. Spoilers for you, Missy. Start watching 20 a night, Kendra.
20 a night? Oh my god.
Okay,
just be playing Stardew Valley and have it on in the background.
Yeah. Although you still should enjoy it till its fullest.
Yeah, no. I honestly, I can't do that. I know some people are really good at like being on their phone and watching episodes or like doing multitasking and stuff like that. I can't do it. I have to sit down and watch the full episode to appreciate it.
As I've said in the past, unless it's something I've seen 100 million times, then sure, I have no problem whipping out my phone to check something on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm playing my Switch or something. But yeah, if it's something brand spanking new, I just want to absorb that content. I would like to feel it.
Yeah. Because everything, like Dexter, I was with that, Supernatural, Chuck, like everything. And there'd be times where I'd like point out something that happened and they'd be like, when was that? Because they weren't like fully watching the episode or whatever. So like Flash especially was the biggest one. Because there was just so many things. And I rewatch it all the time. It's just such a good show that you can go back and rewatch it and still enjoy it. I never get sick of it. But yeah, there were times where I'd like notice something. And then like Zena or whoever would be like, what? When did that happen? And I'd be like, it was here. It's like, right there.
Didn't you see it?
Yeah. Did you see it? Time to stretch your legs.
Thank you, Google.
The robots. Wait, those are the robots. Stop sending me Peloton ads. Gotta try everywhere, man. Gotta try everywhere. Well, I think that'll do it for today's podcast because I still gotta go out for a walk today.
Yes.
Gotta walk the puppers.
Walk the puppers.
Yar. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to us ramble about anything and everything.
Yeah.
Of our new comedy podcast.
Adding comedy to the list of things that the podcast is. We got movies, games, comedy, life, birds, everything.
Birds.
And hopefully the audio sounds somewhat better. We'll find out.
If not, we'll just blame Peloton.
Yes. Yeah, blame it on Peloton.
I agree. That's a good one. But Yar, leave a little comment, leave a little like down below. Let us know if you enjoyed it, what topics we should cover in the future. And until
subscribe
next
to the channel.
Why do I always forget that? Okay, Kendra, we talked about this. You can't let me do the outro anymore. I cannot be held responsible anymore.
Okay, well, next time just point to me and be like, you, and I'll start.
Okay, yeah. That sounds good. Anyways, have a happy Tuesday, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your week, and we will talk to you next week.
See you, Cinema Peeps.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Monkey. And...